Alright, before I start off, my name is Akash Kolaru, and I come from Hyderabad, a city in India. And I'm here to highlight one of those problems that possibly no one else has till today. I mean, over the years, we've seen so many people identify problems in India as a developing country to be corruption, to be discrimination, to be X, Y, and Z. But one problem that we need to deal with, according to me, being the second most populated country in the world, and having 65% of our population below the age of 25, being a really, really young country, is student psychology. Here's a problem that we in India deal with when it comes to student psychology. If you get into classes in our schools, in our universities, in our colleges, every school or every college or every class for that matter has a group of these people, these students who are cornered, who are outclassed, who are I don't know what, beaten down to the earth for merely reasons that they can't help. Those are, I mean, one because he's fat, one because he's ugly, one because he's dark. I mean, these are reasons that that person can't help. That's, I mean, the God has made that student that way. You really, and it's very saddening. It's very petrifying to see this in our culture, wherein India is known to be a country which is very diverse. India does not see uniformity in terms of skin color, does not see uniformity in terms of language, does not see uniformity in terms of culture. But it's shocking that in a country where nothing is uniform except for the fact that we're Indian, that is where you see such discrimination happening between the poor and the rich, between the beautiful and the ugly. I mean, over the years, we have seen innumerable students attempting to suicide very early in their lives in India, possibly even before encountering the real life or real problems, as they say. If we take this to be academic pressure, I think we're fooling ourselves, like, seriously. Of course, there are exceptions emerging out of every scenario, but this is this is the problem that I think we should first figure out, because at the end of the day, when you see an adult getting into the society, trying to, you know, get his luck down in a society, that person's personality is made up by what he's gone through in his life until he's an adult. And most of the things he's gone through in his life until he's an adult is either in the college or in the school or in the university. Especially in a country like India where students do not live away from their family as soon as they're, say, 16 or 17. They still live with their family. They still live with the mom, or, I mean, in some cases, the mom and the dad, in some cases, the mom or the dad. I feel it's the, and the phrase scarred me for life has been overused. It's become a cliche over the years. It's been used in such silly circumstances, but I think it fits in here aptly because you're scarring a person mentally out here. You're scarring a person emotionally out here, which stays for a lifetime. And it's rehabilitation that these people need. The pain that these people go through is unimaginable. For once, put yourself in that so-called loner's. Okay, before I go there, I'm pretty sure you've been to a class, you've been to a college, you've been to a school. I'm pretty sure you've seen loners. Okay, not loners. I can't name them that, but people who've been labeled loners by your classmates, sitting in one corner and doing their own work. For once, please put yourself in that very position and see, and I'm pretty sure you'll go as speechless as I am right now, because when I put myself in that position, I can't even imagine the pain that person would go through. I can't even put myself in that position for that matter. I'm scared to do that. I'm scared because I think that emotion of that pain, or that emotion, or the tranquility that it causes might just blow me up. And before I get into the poem, All I would request to all these students who from India or from anywhere else in the world who are watching this video is, please help me make this viral if possible, and so that it helps me come up with a solution and take a stand for all these students who are suffering. So the poem goes this way. It's been written by me, and I hope it makes sense. It's really, really simple in terms of vocabulary or whatever you call it, in terms of literature quotient, as they say. I do belong, but I don't. I might be fat. I might be ugly. Might not have cleared CLAT. For those who don't get what CLAT is, CLAT is the common law admission test in India, which only a few students who are really, really intelligent can crack. But I promise I ain't that bad. You will find me in every class. Shows you how prevalent this so-called emotional trauma in our country is. You find people in every class going through it. Decorating the corner with shoulders down, the student is clearly demoralized. With none to keep my ass, he feels the loneliness. But I promise I ain't that bad. I accept I'm not rich. This one line highlights the frustration the person goes through because he can't do anything about it. His father's not rich. He hasn't done anything about it. I mean, that's not his fault. It's how it is, and it's how he's been born into a family which is not that financially sound. Also, that I cannot speak. The confidence has clearly gone down because of being cornered and outclassed. Talents might be in a ditch. He might not be that talented, but I promise I ain't that bad. All I want is a sense of touch, to belong. I am sorry if it is a bit too much, but I promise I ain't that bad. When someone gets down to the level of saying, I just want to belong there, I just want to be a part of it, that is when you realize that person has gone down, has been beaten down to the earth, has been beaten down to death for that matter. Because that is the max a person can say. That is the maximum a person can come out to you and say, I just want to be a part of you. Can you please let me? I mean, that shows how much of pain each student goes through when he's outclassed in the class, in the very class that he belongs to. If wanting to mingle is what it is, I am a wannabe. Enjoying college as it is, but I promise I ain't that bad. Over the last few decades, we've seen the word wannabe possibly evolve into this in the wannabe revolution, as they call it. Can anyone ever tell me as to what wannabe is? Each one of us have a different definition for what wannabe is. We label someone as a wannabe. Okay, one does it because he thinks he's too showing off, or he thinks too high of himself, or the other does it because they think he's too whatever. He boasts a lot about his money. He boasts a lot about himself. But there is no standard definition for a wannabe. If a person who knows what a wannabe is, if that person is calling himself a wannabe, knowing that it is a very negative thing to be called, then I think you should. That also highlights uh, the pain, the amount of pain rather that the person is going through. Lastly, hope you have a great life with plenty to remember and cherish. I have nothing for my children and wife, but I promise I ain't that bad. The line which repeats in every stanza of this poem is, I promise I ain't that bad. This highlights that this again, I mean, this again highlights the fact that the person just wants to belong to where he belongs. Just wants to not only belong to that class for the heck of it, for namesake purposes, but also on an emotional level, on a more practical level, on a more, say, truthful level. It is very unnerving as a student to, say, find such things in our society. But I hope all of you will help me deal with this and help all those students out there, hundreds and thousands of students out there who are going through this. And this is Akash Kolaru signing off on a very emotional note. Thank you.